once again, it's Wednesday. It's Woke Wednesday. So thank you so much for jumping on with me today. And today's topic is spring cleaning. And I have to tell you guys, look, if I could have spring cleaned this out of my head last night, it would have been good because I could not sleep. But I probably should have jumped on at 1 o'clock in the morning and just done it because that's when it was all in my head so fresh. But the topic today is spring cleaning. So we very much live in a culture or a society where things are disposable, right? If something is broke, we don't try to fix it. We just go out and buy a new one. If our goal, maybe we don't see results as quickly as we want, or maybe our goal doesn't happen the first time around, so we just give up on it and we either move on to the next thing or we settle. Relationships are disposable. And here's the thing with that. We have moved away from the idea of sticking with things. We don't stick with anything anymore, right? Again, we don't fix things. We don't work harder on things when it's not working. We just walk away. And there's a problem with that. See, having a temporary mindset, having a temporary mindset, putting in temporary efforts, having temporary commitment to something, those things are only going to lead to temporary results. Those things are only going to lead to temporary happiness or temporary success, whatever your definition of success is. So here's the thing, guys. If we put out temporary energy, okay, so again, our mindset, our efforts, our commitment is temporary. If we put out temporary efforts or energy and we are going into something with that and we're saying, hey, I'll give this a week or maybe a month or a year or whatever time frame we put on it, we're saying this is temporary to me. And the universe absolutely feels that energy. And the universe will go off of that energy and it'll create just that. It'll create temporary. So if we want permanent results, if we want permanent success, if we want permanent happiness, we have to put out permanent energy. But we're not used to that. Again, we're so used to walking away and throwing things away. So I understand there is a need. Hi, Sue. There is a need. I mean, the topic is spring cleaning. So there is a time to get rid of things. There is a time to walk away from things. But it's spring cleaning time. And so that means it's time to really assess, go through our lives, whether that's the things, whether that's the people, go through our lives and really assess and say, is it time to clean this out? Or is this something that I can fix? Is this something, that I can work on a little bit more, that I can maybe assess and learn something new? In the case of goals, a lot of people with, let's say, for example, weight loss, they don't see immediate results. So they'll just walk away from the idea instead of looking at, okay, what can I do different? And so what in your life should you walk away from versus what in life should you put in the work on? What in life should you fix? What in life should you seek to reinvigorate? Because the thing is in this culture, in this society of things being disposable and temporary, we're missing out on a lot. We miss out on showing and demonstrating. So when you are putting out that temporary energy, right? You're not putting out permanent energy, you're putting out temporary energy. Then, like I said, the universe takes control and it goes, okay, we're going to give you temporary. And when you walk away from those things, not only does it affect you, but it affects, like, who's watching you? Do you have kids watching you? Do you have people that look up to you that are watching you and they're watching you walk away? And what are they learning about you? What are they learning about life? Are they learning that it's okay to walk away? We're just creating a cycle of this temporary and disposable mindset. So as you're going through and thinking, as I'm spring cleaning my life, what are things that I can keep? What are things that I can get rid of? I want you to take into consideration that a lot of times we tend to focus on things that are truly temporary, but we make them permanent in our mind. So for example, jobs are temporary. They can come and go, but we make them permanent in our minds. We make them permanent in our lives by allowing our jobs to take over, if you will, and we spend less time with our families. We spend less time enjoying life, those types of things. Objects. A lot of times what's temporary, what's truly temporary are tangible objects, like a phone. That's temporary, right? And so we treat things that are temporary like they're permanent, and we treat things that are permanent like they're temporary. We treat people, we treat our goals like they're temporary, like I can just move on to the next one. And that's not always the case, because that's backwards in my mind. I sometimes though think that I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm old school minded in some of this stuff, but really look at your life and think, what can I clean out? What do I need to work on? What do I need to put more life into? Because I've not been giving it all my effort. And so let me try to give it all my effort. And so just some thoughts there. I know it's March 3rd today, so it's a great time to talk about spring cleaning. But think about that in your mind. Really think about, what can I keep? What can I get rid of? And people can be temporary. For example, in my job, when I help someone learn how to write a resume and learn how to interview and use LinkedIn and all of those types of things, and they go get a job, I don't expect to stay in their lives forever after that. I'm temporary in their lives. But you know, those core relationships in our lives that I'm talking about, let's not make those temporary if they don't have to be. If they should be permanent, let's really look at, okay, things aren't the way I want them to be, so what can I do? I know I'm not saying one person can fix a relationship, and it doesn't work that way, right? But what can one person do to fix themselves so that they show up differently in that relationship? Because if you want permanent in your life, you have to put in permanent effort. You have to put in permanent energy. Why does that word seem so funny to me today? You have to put in permanent energy, and you have to have a permanent mindset that you're not walking away from these things. So that's all I wanted to talk to you all about today. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you for joining. And as always, dream big and live bigger. Bye.